Hello everyone, this is Hachiri, and we're back in FTB Interactions. Alright, so, for starters, just a little update on stream. We've actually ripped out all of our machines over here. Over here I just have a short little thing that was making a bunch of lathe blocks because we're going to be ripping all the interior apart and we're going to be rebuilding the interior of our pyramid and getting a lot of automation done. Now, Elrath showed me and taught me about logistic pipes. I will be creating an episode on that as well, basically going over the basics of automation on this, and we'll cover all of that later. I have also been getting things ready for applied energetics, but I still got a lot of stuff to get made before I get into that, so we'll cover that at a later time. What we're going to work on today is this box. This box is an automated Mineralis ritual, and the entire thing basically produces all of the ores that we need. It cycles like every 200 ticks. It's a pretty fast beast. Now, for it to cycle 200 ticks, you do need to have the Mineralis ritual with the Ultera trait. However, I will give you the times for both with the trait and without the trait. And we're essentially just going to build this setup today and completely cover everything that's required for that. Okay? Now, the version I'm going to build for you guys today is going to be a better version than I have now. I'm actually going to go through and replace mine with the newer version. But it's going to be the same. It's just instead of it being craft tweaker ores that you got to break to be able to use, we're going to set up an automated breaker to handle that part of it. And things like the marble, the rock crystal here, the amber, the dimensional shards, the aquamarine, those don't need to be broken. It's just the Greg Tech ores that need to be broken like that. And fortunately, none of the Greg Tech ores here, this doesn't break into dust. None of this stuff breaks into like items or dust or anything. So we can easily handle that issue. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over this entire thing. So what we're going to need for this automation, we're going to need an advanced 8 advanced drawbridges. And those are actually really simple. Really simple. Extremely cheap. It's just a drawbridge. That's it. And to make a drawbridge, you just throw a piston into the monopole. Easy peasy. Okay? You're going to need an igneous extruder, and it's going to need to be upgraded with a resonant conversion kit. Okay? You're going to need 4 aqueous accumulators. You're going to need 2 builders, one with a shape card and one with a void card and a filter. Okay? And we're going to show you how you're going to set this filter up. We'll show you how that's going to be set up. You're going to need, for this new version, you'll need an auto placer and an auto breaker. You're going to need 4 auxiliary reception coils, and that's going to be for the igneous extruder. For the 3 RF machines, you will need 3 spectre coils. That's fine. We're going to have some item conduits, some redstone conduits, a timer, and some mechanical pipe to pump the water to the extruder, and of course our ritual anchor and our ritual. Now, fortunately, the ritual can be pretty much anywhere. I have mine over here, and it's running full blast. Now, mine does have the Ultera trait, and it's tuned to Mineralis. The Altera trait, what it does is it speeds up the ritual. So it makes it run really, really, really fast. But you have a smaller width for it to run. Which is fine, because when it's going like every 200 ticks, you don't really need that much. And this is going to be basically processing a 3x3x7 block of stone. So it's not going to be doing much. Now, my original one was a 3x3x9. However, I noticed that with the speed upgrade, it doesn't do the two ends. And that's fine. That's fine. We don't care. We don't care. But we're going to get this done today. We're going to get this set up. So first, we're going to need some blocks. I'll just build it with gel. And what this is going to do is this is going to hold the 4 aqueous accumulators. And let's like build it over here, like somewhere in the middle here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I may need to get some more gel, and that's fine. I'm not going to fill this in, and all of this is going to be broken apart and destroyed after this episode. Anyway, we're just going to build this off just to show you guys how this is made. And there is a gap here and another line right here. And that's going to be for another part of the setup. So we have our little thing there. And we're going to take this initially. And we're just going to kind of stick this in here. Like so. And the igneous extruder is going to go right there. Now, we're going to upgrade the extruder. And we're going to add our augments to it. That's going to make it run really fast. And we're going to set this to stone. Okay? And the reason we're setting it to stone is because then it will never consume the lava. And honestly, we need it to be stone anyway. And we're going to put in our lava bucket. And we're going to start our water up here. Now, it's going to initially fill this, and then it's going to fill this pipe. It's going to take a little bit, but once this pipe is full, we can get the other ones going. The truth be told, we probably could have sped this up a little bit by not having this initial pipe here. But connecting the pipe now makes it easier because you don't have to deal with fighting with the pipe itself, which is a nightmare. It's a complete nightmare. So this is almost full. I'll just give it a minute, and while that's filling up, we'll start getting the other parts of this set up. Okay. Now, we need 2 builders. And we're going to stick one on either side of these pipes. Okay. Alright, this is filled up. Let's, real quick, get all of our water set up here. And I'm just going to continue filling this, and I will be right back. Alright, and our water's filled up. Now, like I said, we were going to set up our builders right here, just like so. And this one is going to be for voiding. This one is going to be for actual building. So we need to configure the aqueous to kind of get rid of these two sides because we don't want anything going in here. Plus, we're going to have some conduits in this area, and you'll see why here in a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is set up a cache there, and that cache is going to fuel this building. So just to kind of get this started, we're going to plop that in there. It's now lit up, it's creating stone, and that is fabulous. Alright. So once this gets enough stone, we'll actually build a wall of stone. But for now, we're going to just let that do its thing. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our drawbridges set up. Now this right here is just going to be a frame so that we can easily place the drawbridges. We will be breaking that. And you're going to want them placed like so. Okay. And the main thing you're going to be changing here is you're going to change the length to 7. On all of these. You can keep the delay as it is. You can keep everything else exactly as it is. And just basically change it all to 7. If you go too far, it's left click to increase it, right click to decrease it. And if you guys are kind of wondering about this setup, this is the patented Hikara setup. He will, using the drawbridges, he will comment and complain about his, and I quote, intellectual property. And I'm setting that right there because we're going to have a 3 gap and a Mineralis ritual here. And that will allow us to set up the anchor there. The other thing that I basically use this gap for right here is I stick like one of those silencing blocks. It helps a little bit. It's not great, but it helps a little bit. All right, so we got those in place. We have our anchor here, and we need to get that linked so it starts. So let's right-click this, and we're gonna link it to the ritual. So that is now linked, and we should be seeing sparkle effects here. We are not. But select ritual. Let's see, is that linking? No, it's not. Let's link you. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So it's linked now. And with that, we'll be able to place the stone. And looking at this, it looks like I can only have one connected, so I'll have to rip apart mine and attach it. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll deal with that. So we're going to take some stone here. and we are going to get this built. And that's one of the problems, is it converts quickly. So we will need to move fast. Looking at this though and how it's reacting, let's do this to place it. Where are you? There we go. Alright, so we got stone here. Alright, so as you see there, it went through and did that real quick. And we're basically going to use this to build our filter, because fortunately I am seeing every block that we need to blank out, I think. Trying to see every block but basalt. But we'll fix that. And we're going to deal with the falling block thing as well. That is something that we do have something that will handle during this build. So you do not have to worry about that. Once it's fully built, there will be no blocks randomly falling. Alright, so you basically build that setup like so, let it do its thing, and what we're going to do now is we're going to populate our filter. So we want to set this up to be a whitelist, and we want the damage to match, okay? And we want to add andesite, diorite, sandstone, granite, and I'm not seeing basalt, so let's salt. And we want the non-chiseled variant, which I believe is that. So, can I drag it? I guess not. I have to actually go get one. So let's quickly go get one. And get that added. Take one of those. Remove corp. And we'll add that as well. And the reason we're doing the damage must match is because each of these are basically differentiated through damage value, not MBT or anything else. And that's the only thing that separates it from stone, essentially. And we're going to put that in right here, because this one's going to be our voiding module. All right. And, I'm going to shut this off because it's just taking stone right now. So now that we have that configured, we're going to basically pull each of these in once for a sample. So we pulled that one in. All right, cool. Now we'll fill in the blanks with my current one, but basically you'll want to set up a chest or something to collect these for a little bit, just to get samples of what you need to go into the bottom caches. Now, we're going to have caches on the front that will be the main storage, but initially we're going to have about 11 of these that will be used for the purpose of processing. Nine, 10, one more. All right, and these ones will hold all of our content tweaker ores. So let's get one of each of these. Salt, rock salt, saltpeter, biotite, all right, rock salt, salt, we're just going to take one of each of these and lock the system down to it. So outside from the ones that are going to be here, these ones will take all of the content tweaker ores and then they'll be sent to another part of this. Okay. Now, we are going to set this up to void ores and such if the system gets full. So that will be occurring. So you don't have to worry about that. That is definitely in the plan. But for right now, this is what we're doing with this. Now let's lock each of these. And these are our content tweaker ores. Now what we're going to do with this is we are going to have an auto placer right there. And we're going to have an auto breaker right here. All right. Now we're going to configure this to basically insert into the cache, and then it's going to pull out for red and put it in the placer, and then this is going to re-pull out as well. So we're going to set this channel to red, okay? And it's only going to accept that. It's not going to actually extract anything. This one is going to extract, okay? And then what this is going to do is it's going to insert on green and extract on red. Okay, and as you see, it already has the Greg Tech infused ore here. And we'll actually turn that off for right this moment, because we got to go through and finish priming and building the system. But that's basically how this will work, and we will copy this across all of these. So let's get the timer and stuff built first, and then we'll finish that system. I'm going to take a moment to use this just to take a look at my spacing. Okay. So this block right here is going to be for sending the signal to these, and we're going to do those configurations in a minute. And then it's also going to send them up to this with a timer. Okay. Now first I'm going to set this right here temporarily, and we're going to set it that way. And for our case, we're going to set it to 200 and pause while redstone is active. Now we're going to set a conduit here and one right there, and we're going to right click it with the Yeta wrench to activate it. Now as you see, it does have a signal input, and we're disabling the output. We're just going to take the input. This one is going to be a strong output right here. Okay, and it's currently on and running. I need a lever because I forgot to grab one, because we are going to need a lever for this. And we'll just craft our lever. And with that, as you see, the timer has stopped. Okay. Now this is extend when powered. The reason we have that on there is because we do want this to extend when powered. We are going to need a trash can. That is something I forgot. And we will get that built. And we're going to have to Yeta these as well. And that will give us that. We just change each one of these to have the red output and remove that. And what we're going to do to kind of speed this up is we're going to also hook up conduits to it. And we're going to use a conduit probe to kind of copy all of this. So we're going to take some item conduits, and this will go across here, just so you know. what we're going to do with this is we're going to remove it from here. We are going to turn it on the cache, because if there's room in the cache, we do want stone, excess stone pull to go back in. And remove it from here, as well as here. And that's where we're going to leave it for right now, because we don't want it going actually into the caches just yet. And what we're going to do is we're going to set one of these up. So we have it set to extract, and it's doing a signal. Okay, we're going to take our conduit probe and we're going to shift right click it, because then we can just right click every single one of these and copy all of the conduit settings. So now every single one of these, if you take a look, it's extracting and it has a strong signal. Every single one is perfectly set up for our system now. Okay? So we have this in place. We do need to build ourselves a little platform down here. And basically, it's going to be as simple as this. And I am out of blocks. Let's get ourselves a couple more blocks. And what that platform underneath it does is it just prevents the aquamarine sand from falling down. That is the sole purpose of that, is to prevent that from falling. Okay, so we have that set up. We have all of this built. And we're going to now that all that's configured, we're going to place the last of our caches. I have 8 and 8. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just so I have a block to work off of. And then the trash can is going to go right there once this is done. And this is actually the last one right here. And then we'll have a trash can here as well. So let's quickly make the trash can and then get our various samples in there. And we're going to remove it from here. Alright, so taking a look at this. Yeah. Let's get... one of each of those. And we're just gonna kind of place them in here, like so. These are the blocks that don't need to be converted. Okay, so we got those in place. These are the blocks that do need to be converted. So we're gonna get our conduit here and place that across. And we're going to set one like so. Copy it. And basically, get that set up. Now the main difference will be this one. We're going to set this to a -1 priority. And we're going to manually set our things here. We will activate this to push them through, and then we're just going to grab them out of this like so. So we're going to copy this and paste it into each one. And with that, we'll be able to finish setting up the GregTech variant of the ores. Alright, so that is the GregTech ones all set. We just lock these in. And that's done right there. Okay? Now, one last thing we need to do is we need to configure our system. In order to do that, we're going to need a couple of blocks. So I'm gonna silk touch this, and it went into here. Of course you did. Let's just set you to stone, because that's what I'm going to be having right here anyway. Stone, and there we go. That's fine. We just need those two corners set. Okay. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our shape card. And we're going to right click this block. And we're going to set our first corner and our last corner. And then we're going to put that shape card back in here. We're going to set it to keep running. We're going to set it to block sounds are muted. And we're going to set it to not wait. And then finally, redstone mode off to activate. Okay? And the reason being is with this state on or redstone signal on, it turns the timer off. And that's what we want. we want it to turn off. And we're going to set up our builders. They will be sending a signal to both of these. And that basically keeps that safe. And we're going to also set this off to activate. Always run. Don't wait if not possible, and keep that on there. Okay. Now the next one we're going to do is our void card, and we're going to do them in the exact same positions. Now remember, we have this filter in here with the settings that we created. Okay. So we're going to shift this, right click the two spots, and plop it in here. Okay. Now, once I connect this, it's gonna pull out all those blocks. You're gonna see them get converted over here. And we're gonna also set up the insert so that if a block doesn't have a place to go, it goes in the junk pile. Okay. Alright, nutrition is not borked. Alright. Had to fix my nutrition there for a second. Alright, so it processed all that stuff. And once I set this up, it will put it where it needs to go. Everything will do its thing, and everything's happy. You see we're getting ores in here already. And we're good there with that. Alright, so this is all set up. This is all set up. We just need to add power to these. So I'm going to add power to that one and to this one. Okay, and now after I flip this switch, you're actually going to see this in action. Now the builder will automatically build, at least it should. Now it will build. And the void actually voids anything that is on that list. It gets rid of it. Okay? And once the timer completes, which it is currently not completing, state is off, and you are supplying 15. Why? Why are you supplying 15? Input only. Something ain't right. Okay, it apparently needed a reset. There we go. And now you see it actually working and running. And basically, what happens is it only goes in here if it can't go into any of these. These caches are here only for overflow purposes. Otherwise, the ores go in here, and it will always process the ores. As you see, there was one in there, and it's gone. Now, occasionally, there are items that pop out. I don't know why it does this. I'm thinking it's because of this right here, but we can fix that. There's a way to fix that. And it's with a facade. Basically, you place a facade right there, and it won't drop. If it's on the bottom one, it'll stop at the bottom. But other than that, let's see here. You're only doing the first row. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so that's not it. There we go. So we're gonna have to let's see. Okay, I think the issue might be because I started from the front, so it's not completing. So let's stop this. Let's stop this. And let's reassign this. To build from the back. And let's try this again, because I think I had a configuration issue there. Nope, it's still doing it. Alright, let me sort through this, because that shouldn't be doing that. It should be doing the whole row, and it's not. I'll be right back. Alright, I got this thing fixed. The issue is I forgot to set the delay to 1. So, looking at this, why aren't you building? State is off. There we go. And that's pretty much it. As you see, it's now working, now that I have it configured correctly. We do still have this issue, so what we're going to do with that is one other thing. And taking a look at where everything is, we are going to set up a chest right here. Will extract out of, and we're going to put an item collector on it. And let's see, looking at this, if that's XYZ, and F3 real quick just to make sure, XYZ, yep, that is indeed XYZ. So we're going to want this to go 1, 2, so we're going to want it to go on X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 on X. So we're going to alter this, and we're going to increase the X radius by 7. Everything else, I think, should be fine. We can test that by dropping some stuff like right there. It doesn't pick it up there. Let's just increase it by 8, just to be safe, just in case it goes in there. And then if I put it here, yeah, I put it right there. So we're good. So that's it. That is Mineralis Ritual Automated. Now, I said I would give you both times. Okay, so for the buffed one, it is 200. Okay, for the unbuffed, you want to set that to about 6,000. It takes forever, but as you see, this is definitely a much better setup for that. And that basically concludes this episode. This is the full automation of Mineralis. Complete to getting it to where you get all our beautiful ores here. And that is how you get it done, start to finish. So with that, I want you guys to have a wonderful evening, and we will check back later. Have a good one. Goodbye.